to lead us in the Guam State Clearinghouse. But I would be remiss if I didn't start off and asking you again the situation down at the Guam State Clearinghouse in regards to information that was, you came out of the news and said there's probably missing and had since last week, the former administrator, Roland Villaverde, had come in and you guys have been working together to try to retrieve some information. Where are we at in regards to that?
Okay, I mean, it's very unfortunate that we weren't able to hit the ground running as quickly as we wanted to. But a lot has changed since day one, January 3rd, basically, and at this point, we've determined that there is no public interest in pursuing that matter any further, and right now we're focusing our attention, our efforts, and our energy on just moving forward and doing the job that myself and my staff really were hired to do.
So basically, you've got a grip on where things are at and where the grants are in regards to that, and the grants that are maybe coming up, deadlines being met, and all that. So we've got a handle on that already at this point.
I believe that we've retrieved as much information as we possibly could from Mr. Villaverde, and that in conjunction with working with the individual agency heads, the program coordinators and program managers of nonprofit organizations, in coming forward, calling us, coming into our office, and providing us with information and records that we previously did not have. I mean, all of which were stored on, Mr. Villaverde's personal devices. I believe that we have enough to start moving forward.
Good. I'm glad. And what I was afraid of at some point that this information will be proprietary, and I hope that's not the case, because these are government funds that the people of Guam had applied for, basically, and that if it was in a government computer, in a government facility, in government time, this proprietary for the government of Guam. So I would hope that that's not the case, because we often hear of cases that this is proprietary information and it belongs to me, I registered it, therefore I can't give it to you. So is that the case? Or?
That's somewhat the situation. The website that the clearinghouse was currently, I guess, operating under?
Prior, you mean, prior.
Prior.
Okay.
Belonged, to my understanding, to Mr. Villaverde. Based on the information we were able to gather, it was licensed to him, essentially.
Okay, so he was the license holder of the website, but it was a GovGuam funded agency, is it not?
Yes, correct.
And he's a GovGuam employee with full GovGuam benefits.
Correct.
So you're saying at that time of licensure and all that, that a person that is being paid from the government of Guam and government Guam time and GovGuam facility and GovGuam computers, that it becomes an individual's property?
That should not be the case. I mean, ultimately, although he owned the rights to the website, I mean, the information that was uploaded and contained therein really belonged to the people of Guam and no one else.
Okay. So I'm sure that those have changed at this point. I mean, this is a GovGuam property at this point. It's not proprietary. It's not now Eric Palacios' property now, right?
No. We actually are actively working to put together a brand new website, and we hope to get that up within the next week.
Okay.
We're really shooting for the next week. As far as the old website is concerned, we've extracted all the information we feel we need from there, to include electronic forms, for applicants to use when they submit their grant packets.
So at that point, about a week from now, let's say 2 weeks, at that point, the people of Guam can have access as to what grants are being applied for and things like that, what is going on, and they can download date lines in which these grants may be coming up, and all that information can be had. Okay, and so when that happens, give us the website that people can download all of that. Anyway, that being said, moving forward in regards to these grants, what are we looking at in totality and the amounts of grants that on an annual basis that Guam applies for, roughly?
I'll know by Friday what exactly that figure is. What's happening is we've called all the agency heads and the program coordinators in the individual agencies, as well as those of nonprofit, and they're we sent out a letter asking for specific information, current grants, award date, award amount, grant expiration. So I don't have that information readily available, but I will have it on Friday.
Okay, okay.
And then I'll be able to sort through everything and get a better handle. But I imagine tens of millions a year.
And a lot of these grants again have matching funds again from government of Guam, whether maybe they start off being 100%, but after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, Gov Guam has to phase itself into continuing this grant or continuing the program. A lot of times, again, the upfront funding for programs are again seed money given by or startup money by the federal government. And if you want a longer term or that Gov Guam at some point, if they want this program to continue, will have to fund it at some point in time, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
It's called a matching requirement.
Okay.
Fortunately, not all grants that come to Guam require matching requirements. Some are what's called discretionary, and I mean it's 100% federally funded.
Sure. And these are not just programs, but these are also program implementers like staff. That's where the governor was talking about. Governor Cowell was talking about that. He put pretty much a hold on hiring, except for positions that are federally funded. And that's what you're talking about, right? Is that not only programs, but implementers of that program that requires hiring a staff under that federal funding, right?
Correct. It can. I mean, with certain grants, you can hire personnel, you can procure equipment, you can outline like training and to include travel to bring like 2 or 3 people to Guam and train 100 people versus trying to send 100 people to get the specialized training.
There we go.